Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite sets of Master Tung points, the four horses or sima. The set of points that I'm going to talk about today are called the four horses, and they're a set of 3 points that come from Master Tung Acupuncture. These are, in my opinion, the best set of points to treat any kind of lung problems. And here we're talking about both the physical lungs and the functions of the lung meridian in acupuncture or in Chinese medicine. And stay until the end of the video because I will show you a clinical case where we use these points in a way that might surprise you. So don't go away before you see this application of these points. If you'd like to learn more about the techniques that I show in my videos, check out the courses I have available. I have balanced method acupuncture courses, both in English and in Portuguese, that you can purchase and learn about this technique. Before we discuss the location and the application of these points, let's think about what does the lung do according to traditional Chinese medicine, according to TCM theory. We know that the lung is obviously important for everything related to breathing, but it is also very important to control anything related to the skin, because the lung controls the skin. So skin problems, we will always have to use the lung meridian or points that treat the lung to treat anything related to the skin. The lungs are also in charge of the wei qi or the defensive qi. So anything related to the immune system, we will have to use the lungs. And also in TCM, but even more in Master Tung Acupuncture, the lungs are very important to control every kind of function that requires rhythm. Being this the rhythm of your breathing, being the rhythm of your heart. So everything related to rhythm, we will have to think about lung too. And the lungs will also have a vital importance in the water metabolism and distribution along the body, because the lungs are very intimately related to the waterways. And now let's dive into the points. As I told you, today we're going to talk about the sima or four horses. This is a set of 3 points, or within Master Tung Acupuncture we call these sets of 3 points a dao ma. These points are located on the thigh, on the stomach meridian, and the best way for me to find them is first you're going to find gallbladder 31. If you remember your point location classes, you'll ask the person to stretch their arms, and the point there, the tip of their finger meets their leg is gallbladder 31. So you'll transport that point from the gallbladder meridian into the stomach meridian, and you'll have the middle point of the four horses. Then you just have to go to Tsun distal and to Tsun proximal to this point, and you'll have the 3-point set. These points are the number 1 points in Master Tung Acupuncture to treat lung deficiency. So with these points, you'll be able to treat every kind of lung problem. So breathing problems, asthma, allergies, colds, everything that affects the lung can be treated with these points. You can apply them to any problem relating to the skin, so eczema, psoriasis, anything related to the skin, even acne, for instance. And you will also be able to use these points to treat problems related to the breasts and the chest. For those of you that already work with the balance method, you can see why these points will act on this area, because as you can see, they are located in an image that can mirror the area of the chest, and they are on the stomach channel, which is one of the channels that will cross the chest area. But along with these classical indications, another thing that this point is very useful for is any kind of problem related to rhythm. As I told you before, the lung is very important in controlling the rhythm of everything in our body. These points are also fantastic to move the qi, because as you know, the lung is responsible for the movement of the qi, and if you move the qi, you'll also be able to move the blood. So in a case where you have either qi or blood stagnation, these points will also be great. So let's look at a case of an arrhythmia. When you think about arrhythmia, typically you will maybe think about the heart, maybe think about the pericardium, maybe the lung will not be your first idea. But since the lung will control the rhythm, this will be very useful to you. And if you work with the balance method, as I hope you do if you follow my channel, I will show you now a very nice way to integrate these points on a global balance for arrhythmia. So let's analyze this case of arrhythmia. This is a patient that was suffering from arrhythmia and that also felt compression of the chest. Well, there are many possible causes for arrhythmia. In this case, it was a kidney deficiency that was causing heart failure, and the patient was having this symptom. So arrhythmia and the sensation of pressure on the chest, the first thing I will think about is pericardium. A very common point that you'll think about for these kinds of problems is pericardium 6. So let's see how we can balance all of this using kidney, pericardium, and using the 4 horses to treat the rhythm problem. So we can do a global balance where we will use pericardium, we will use kidney, and then we can cross them with large intestine and stomach. So we can use something like pericardium 6, great point to mirror the area of the chest. We could use, for instance, kidney 7, another good point to mirror the area of the chest. We could use, for instance, large intestine 13 to 14, which also can represent this area of the upper chest. And then for stomach, we could use the 4 horses. This is a great example of a global balance where you're balancing the main channels involved, but also using the master tongue point for its indications. And obviously, if you're thinking about a balanced diagnosis, the stomach meridian is very important to treat the heart because it goes over the heart too. So this would be a great combination. And this is a very simple description of the 4 horses, which, as I told you, is one of my favorite sets of points from Master Tongue Acupuncture, and without a doubt, my favorite group of points to treat problems relating to the lungs. If you want to learn more, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I regularly post videos either talking about this kind of theory and points and also describing clinical cases. So give me a follow and see you next time.